Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the One Pot Wonder. We are in class session 6 and class 3. I hope everybody's trying to stay cool out there. It's pretty hot. So for today, we decided that because it is so hot out, we're not going to use the stove or the ovens today, and we're going to do some very simple, very basic cooking. So I've kind of cheated for you guys, and I have I ordered some pre-cooked chickens, so they'll be cold when you get them, so you don't even have to worry about doing that cooking. So we're making today chicken croissants, chicken salad croissants, and we had some extra eggs given to us, so we're going to do some deviled eggs. And then we have some raw vegetables, some carrots and celery for the side. And yeah, so I hope it makes it a little bit easy for you today. So stay cool, drink lots of water, and yeah, watch that sunburn. So before we get started, I just want to once again give a great big thank you to all of our supports, our partners, volunteers, and the CIP grant that was given to us to be able to do this program, which is the Community Initiatives Program for Alberta. And so we're feeling pretty lucky to be able to offer this and continue offering it. We have the food center here in Pincher Creek that continues to support us, the food bank in Brockett as well, and the Child and Family Services in Brockett, and the Napi Friendship Association also is helping, and the church, the Creekside Community Church. I always want to say the Baptist Church, but it's new now. It's called Creekside Community Church. They offer their support with their kitchen too. So great big thank you to all of you, because we couldn't do this without each other's help and the support from the community. So thank you. So we're gonna get started, and so basically we're just gonna debone our chicken today and cut it up into small, tiny bite-sized pieces, just to be able to put it in our bowl and mix it up for salad. And we're going to put our eggs on to harden our eggs for the deviled eggs. And I know I'm jumping all over, but I don't want to forget to tell you guys, don't throw your bones out of your chicken. If you can, save them and maybe put them in a bag in your fridge until it's, or even cook it tonight, whatever you like. But if you have some extra carrots and celery available, you can make a broth out of your chicken bones. And I don't have any of this chicken bouillon in your bag, but you can use a chicken bouillon, or you can just use a salt and pepper, just to give it some extra spice if you like. But it's a nice broth if you just put those bones on water and just let them cook as long as you possibly can. And then I would say probably a good hour, just to kind of get the flavoring out of the bone. And then you can discard your bones and then make your soup base from that. So anything you have in your kitchen or in your fridge you can use, like your corn, or you can use beans, you can use any kind of vegetables that you like, potatoes, noodles, rice. Yeah, it just kind of makes an added extra for you. So anyway, we're gonna get started. We're gonna start the chicken and get the eggs on, and we'll be right back. So we're gonna start the eggs, and for those that aren't really familiar with doing deviled eggs, the trick to doing deviled eggs and being able to peel them is to start your eggs in cold water. So before we even get the water boiling, we're gonna just not throw our eggs, but we're gonna put our eggs into the water, because what this will do is it allows them to heat gradually, and there's a membrane on the inside of the egg that will pull apart from the shell. And so the longer that they boil, the better it is. So we're gonna let it boil for about 15 minutes and just let them boil. And then we're gonna take those off, and we're gonna put them into cold water. And we're gonna leave them in cold water probably for another good 10-15 minutes. So it's gonna be about a half an hour. And it pays off if you can be patient and just let it do its thing. Because otherwise you're peeling all of the inside of the egg off and it just becomes a real pain and frustrating. So yeah, so we're gonna let that boil and we're gonna go over and do the chicken. All right, so we've got the eggs on and we're gonna start pulling this chicken apart and then cut it into cubes. So just to give you an idea, most of the time chickens have that string on it, so you want to take that string off. And then in the sides of your legs, there's a crevice there. I don't know if you can, anyway, it's a crevice that you can just pull out. And so take off your leg parts first. That just makes it easier to get into the inside of your meat. And you'll see the bone in the, it's kind of, I want to call it my hip bone. Now, it's entirely up to you if you want to keep the skin on, you can. Some people don't like it in their salad and others do. And it's entirely up to you how you want to cut it up. So we just want to make sure that it's in the knuckle so that we're getting most of the meat off of that. And as a rule of thumb, just everybody needs to make sure they wash their hands before they handle the meat, just because other people are going to be eating it as well. So in the very middle of your breast, there is a cartilage. And you can actually just pull this right off. But there is a cartilage in the middle that if you just take your thumb along that piece of cartilage, that meat will just pull right off. And you can see how it opens up. And that's, I mean, everybody's had chicken before, but some may not pull it apart though, if it's a whole one, right? Okay, so we want to just pull off the meat off of these little breastbones.
The ribs.
The ribs, yeah. Ribs, breastbones, because it is the whole piece, right? And let's just put our bones in here. And so we're going to just pull along the side. There's also a wishbone that's in the back here. And they say it's good luck to keep them, let them dry out, and then make a wish, and whoever has the longest side, their wish comes true. So we'll take this off. And I don't know where that bone went. Maybe I didn't get it. Huh. There it is. I've already broke it. Okay, so we're just going to go up along the side of this piece as well and then tear it off of that. Oop, wrong way. So, so we'll just continue to kind of cut this up, take your bones off, and just to give you an idea of sizing for your chicken, if you just kind of cut it in small pieces, because you're gonna have quite a bit of chicken here. For the larger families that need a little extra, because it will go a long way as long as you aren't like piling it on like big ice cream or soup ladles of it. So anyway, so as you can see, this is kind of the sizing that you want. And we're just going to continue to cut this up and we'll be back. Okay, so we have the chicken all cut up and we have gone ahead and put in some celery, just into kind of bite-sized pieces so that it's the same sizing as your chicken. And then we're gonna take some of the green onions as well and cut them down as well and put them into our chicken salad. And then also too, the extra celery and your carrots, you can cut up into kind of a bite-sized piece. I don't know if you can see that. And just have them as a vegetable with some dip with your sandwich. Or you can save it and keep your bones and make your soup from it. So yeah, so we're gonna just kind of finish up here, and then we'll be back to, we'll put some mayonnaise onto our chicken, and you can use like, if you have like a ranch dressing, or you can kind of do half and half like what we did last week with the BLT salad. You could do the same kind of concept. The difference here is that you don't want your dressing to be runny because it's a sandwich this time. It's not part of your pasta. So you need it a little bit thicker, just because that's what molds your chicken salad together. And yeah, so we're just gonna kind of finish chopping up, and our eggs will be ready to put on cold water pretty soon, and we'll be back. Okay, so we have the salad with the onions and the celery in it, or the chicken, I mean, sorry. And I've put in some mayonnaise to it, so you can see that it kind of is enough to give it a form. It depends how much mayonnaise you want. If you want to add extra, you can. But otherwise, it's I would say maybe for the whole chicken, you're probably looking at start with about a half a cup, a little bit more. And then we're gonna add some pepper and some salt to your taste, whichever you like. Some people like to add mustard to the actual chicken salad. I did not do that for today, but so we're gonna take some croissants that you have in your bag, and we're gonna just cut down the sides, if I can. Maybe
not with that knife.
Not with this knife, apparently. Just came up. And then we're just gonna open this up, and we are going to put in some lettuce. And I would say, you can put as much as you like, but to start with, so you can put your chicken in, I would start with about this size. And then we can just put this in kind of down to the end of it. And then just flip it over like that. And then you can give it here, just a sec. And then you can just cut it like that. And then you'll have your carrots and your celery. So, I'm just gonna put these with the carrots and the celery. And we are going to look at the eggs for a moment. I'm just gonna move this over and give this a quick wipe. And so I've taken the eggs actually off the stove, and I have them in cold water. I dumped out the hot water, and then just to cool off the actual pot, leave your water running so that it allows for the eggs to get cold. That's the trick. You want your eggs cold. So we're gonna run this for a few minutes just to make sure that they're cold inside, and then we're gonna get started with the eggs, and we'll be back. Okay, so we're gonna start the deviled eggs, and so just make sure that your eggs are cold. That is the key, is to overboil them and then overcool them so that the membrane from inside the egg doesn't stick to the outside. And you can just break your shell, have your water available because it's easier to peel off. It's easier to peel. I just got to get that membrane open. So you can see this piece here, like this membrane stuff. That's the piece that you want to break off so that you're not pulling the whole egg apart. You're just getting that membrane off. I must have said membrane about 6 times. So it just makes it extremely easy when you are peeling to take it all off. And then I just give it a rinse and start on to the next one. But it's just to take a gentle piece off of your first one that you start, and then make sure that you can catch that piece of skin, it almost looks like. And I haven't got it yet. There it is. Nope. Shoot. Anyway, there we go. So it can be a little bit frustrating. Sometimes you'll end up with half an egg left by the time you get it unraveled. And we're gonna continue on. We don't need to, we'll come back once we have all of these eggs shelled, and then we'll start the next step. Okay, so I've started the process with the eggs, and the idea is once you have them all shelled, you take a fairly decently sharp knife if you have one, and just make a line through the white. Don't go all the way through, just through the whites of the egg, and just go around in circles till you meet the other entrance of where you started. And then you're gonna take, just a sec here, I got a little bit of that membrane. So you're just gonna twist it a little bit, and then you're gonna pull it out. And then you just take out your yolk part, and then you do the same thing again. So once you have all of the yolks out of the egg white, and you have them, all your egg whites in a thing or in a plate, then we're gonna mash up the egg yolks. And now the recipe you have today, it's very plain. It's just mayonnaise, salt and pepper, a little bit of green onion. You can put whatever you want in it. If you want to put a little bit of dry mustard in it, or even like the yellow mustard, if you want to put some dill in it, or use some dressing instead of, like if you had some ranch dressing, you can mix it up with your mayo. It might be too liquidy if you just use the dressing. You need to have it so that it's formed in, just a second, I just need this fork so that it's got a little bit of consistency like you would have in a potato salad, like that kind of a thickness. That's the word I'm looking for. So once you get all this mashed, then we're going to put some mayo in it, and I would start out with less mayo because it looks like there is a lot that you need a lot of mayo, but you don't. And but like I said, you can put whatever you like in it. For today, we're just using mayo and green onions and salt and pepper. So I'm gonna start out with about a very large tablespoon, soup spoon, to start with. And then as you start to pull it together, then you can see the formation of so I think we'll put another tablespoon in. But it's better to have less than more because you can't take out more, right? So you can add in if you need it. Now, there's another trick you can do with your yolk, with your mayo. I'm gonna just add just a touch more, it's a little bit dry. Is you could take a Ziploc bag, the thicker Ziploc bags, and cut the end of it out just on the corner so that it's just a little hole. And you can put your egg yolks in that bag. And once you've got your mayonnaise and everything in it, of course, and then you can just squeeze it into your little pockets for your egg. Kayla, would you pass me another spoon? Thank you. So this is pretty much ready. And you can see it's fairly thick. Now when you're filling these, I'm just going to put a little bit of onion in here. You can also make egg salad sandwiches if you prefer with your croissants, if you don't want to make deviled eggs, which is the same concept, except you're going to use all your yolks as well and just chop those up and add your mayo like you are now. And we'll put some, actually I'll put the pepper on after. Okay, so let's do it like this. Can you pass me a teaspoon? Thanks. So you're just gonna put it into the holes. It's a little bit tedious, but I think I might use this. Just because it's sturdier, the eggs slide. So you're gonna just pack your egg whites. And I would put just like that much into your holes of your egg white. And then if you can add some later on, you can just add it on the top. But if you want it really creamy so that there's no, so it's really, really smooth, just keep mashing it, or you could even beat it if you want, if you have a beater. I don't do it that way, but it just makes more mess when you can do it. And it'll just keep adding a little bit of mayo until you get that consistency that you want. And we are going to finish doing this up, and then we'll come back and we'll show you the end results. Our creation is here. So we have the chicken croissants and the deviled eggs and some vegetables for you today. I hope you've enjoyed today's class, and I hope you enjoy your meal. Stay safe, stay out of the sun, and stay cool. And we'll see you next week.